letter to this old bag. Right, to the Right Honourable Dr. Marjorie Mullen. Was Secretary of State for Northern Ireland. Was residing at Hillsborough Castle in Hillsborough County Down, Northern Ireland. And, of course, the United Kingdom. Right, dear Mo, I am writing to you today to express my utter disgust at the way the honest and decent loyalist people of Northern Ireland and their elected representatives, particularly me, have been treated by you and that grinning monkey Tony Blair. Ever since you and that bunch of pinko commie Nancy boys were elected to government, you have sought to pour scorn on the loyalist people of Ulster at every opportunity. First, you dream up this nonsense of the Good Friday Peace Agreement that's nothing more than a sellout to the good people of this province. Well, let me tell you about the Good Friday Agreement. I wouldn't wipe my fucking arse with it. And now you wanted to span the Royal Ulster Constabulary and replace it with a bunch of lachos with balaclavas and hurley sticks. And we all know what that means. The new police force will not be able to go down the Arbour Road and knock the shite out of Jared Rice and the rest of his fiending mates. No, they'll all be sitting around talking in Irish and playing the boran. I'm sitting here writing this letter in the company of Constable Mervyn McFall, who has been my loyal bodyguard for the last 15 years. Isn't that right, Mervyn?
Yes, that's right, Dr. Paisley.
So, what's Mervyn going to do? That's what I want to know. Who's going to pay his overtime and lunch allowance under this new regime? Is Mervyn going to be able to change his car every year and pay his subscription to Sky Television? And who's going to pay for his 3 foreign holidays? And how is he going to be able to afford the vet bills for his daughter's ponies? Tell me that, Mrs. Mullen. Let me tell you this. Enough is enough. The only peace agreement that this province will have is when all the Fenians fuck off out of here and give us all peace. They can all go down to the Republic of Ireland and live with Bertie and his cronies. See how they like that? Yes. Let them try to live down there with the price of houses the way they are. And worse, quality bus corridors springing up all over the fucking place. They'll not be able to drive in to sign on the door, for goodness sake. No jarrows on a Thursday. And there'll be no housing executive to build them all them fancy red brick 3-bedroom houses in Dublin. No, they'll be lucky to live in Swords. No, make that Drogheda. That'll teach them. And another thing, on behalf of the Protestant people of Ulster, I would like to reiterate my opposition to the fact that that fat shite John Hume and old red-faced beetroot-baked David Trimble got the Nobel Peace Prize and I got absolutely nothing. If it wasn't bad enough to give that curly-haired bollocks Heaney a prize for writing a few old poems that didn't even fucking rhyme, full of old shite about bogs and shovels, you have to add insult to injury by nominating Hume and Trimble, the dirty traitor, for the Nobel Peace Prize also. And what have I got? Fuck all. And here's me having given a lifetime's work to the cause of Ulster, and all I have received is insults and humiliations. Oh, and some old stupid doctorate from a bunch of fucking American rednecks. Well, I think it's high time that my work was recognised. There must be some honour I can have. How about the Nobel Prize for bigotry or shit-stirring or something like that? Anything for fuck's sake. I can't bear the thought of all my political enemies getting one over me. So I am asking you today to use your new job in the Cabinet Office to redress this blatant injustice and recognise my contribution to the political life of Northern Ireland. Because there's no use asking that poofter Peter Mandelson. Failing that, you can go and shite. Yours, Dr. Ian Kyle Paisley. OK, Mervyn. Print that off and just put it in an envelope and post it, would you? And make sure you put urgent on it.
OK, Dr. Paisley. I'll do that now and drop it off at the post box. Do you want anything from the shops when I'm out?
Yes, let me see. Yes, get us one of those magnums, would you? The almond one, Mervyn, yes, get me one of those. And, of course, get me one of those new chunky Kit Kats.
Will do, Dr. Paisley. Blue 6 to control. Leaving static post at 1640 for drop-off point in white sector. Roger. Over and out.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mervyn, I keep telling you there's a ceasefire. Jerry and the boys are too busy planning to be government ministers to be bothered by you anymore, for goodness sake.
Well, you can never be too sure, Dr. Paisley. They haven't gone away, you know. Dr. Paisley, here's a letter for you. I think it's from Mo.
Give us that fucking thing. Let's see what it's got to say. All right. At least there was no fucking wires hanging from it. Oh, let's see. She's invited me to London for a meeting. Very, very good. I look forward to that. Thanks, Mervyn.
Dr. Molan will see you now, Mr. Paisley.
And about fucking time, too, for goodness sake.
Oh, hello, and it's very, very nice to see you. Oh, it's so lovely to get a kiss from a clean-shaven man. I keep telling Jerry Adams he should shave, you know. His beard's forever tickling my arse.
OK, enough of that dirty talk, Mo. We're here on a serious matter, as you know.
Oh, sorry, and now, where were we? Oh, yes, I totally disagree with the sentiments in your letter. Firstly, Seamus Heaney is a fine poet, and in fact his book Death of a Naturalist is a seminal work of the Irish poetic canon.
Fuck Heaney, what about my Nobel Peace Prize, Mo?
Well, I'm really, really sorry, Ian, but you know as well as I do that your name is a byword across the field for hatred and bigotry, and the Nobel Committee couldn't, in all honesty, award you a Peace Prize. It would be just totally undermine the prize altogether by giving a bigot like yourself the award.
Well, let me say this here. It's only the Fenians I hate. I get on OK with the rest of the world.
Well, I'm afraid, Dr. Paisley, that's just not good enough. The Nobel Prize is only awarded to those people who have made a conspicuous public effort to effect peace and reconciliation with their former enemies. And let's be honest, Dane, there are no signs of you qualifying.
So what do I have to do, Mo, then, to be considered?
Well, for a start, Mr. Paisley, I think you should put aside your old ways and show the international community that you have changed and that you have embarked upon the road to peace and reconciliation. I think it's a good start. It would be a really good start to go and live in the south of Ireland and show that you can mix with the people from another tradition.
Jesus, Mo, you must be joking. I could never live in the south. Sure, have you seen the price of houses there?
You could just get the digs for a week, Mr. Paisley.
No way, forget about it. I'll just do without the Nobel Peace Prize. Oh, I don't know why I've changed my mind. Hanging out of this dirty Dublin. For Christ's sake, Mervyn, hurry up or we'll miss this bloody train. What the fuck are you doing?
Just checking out the platform area, Dr. Paisley. You know the station is located in a hostile interface area?
Never mind that, goodness sake, man. Have you packed everything?
Oh yes, we've got the clothes, a few extra shirts, long johns, socks. Oh yes, and the hot water bottle. Those free staters don't bother too much with central heating, you know. Oh, and Eileen's packed a few soda farts in case we get hungry on the way down. And there's a packet of condoms. Or sorry, there's eggs and onion sandwiches for you, and a steak sausage for me.
Have you packed the good book, Mervyn? That's what I want to know.
Oh yes, the one about Charlie.
For fuck's sake, Mervyn, you buck idiot. Don't let anyone see you with that. I was going to take it over to Skelly to see if Charlie would autograph it for me. I meant the Bible. I need to read the scriptures to steady my nerves, you know. Dear Lord, before I embark on this momentous journey to a heathen land, I remember your servant Moses, whom you dispatched into a barren wilderness to lead his people to the promised land. Think of me, your humble servant, as I too embark on a perilous journey to a land wrecked by pestilence, to a land disfigured by avarice and venality, by plague and flood, Moriarty and McCracken, designated area apartments, abracadabra and cabals, Dumphy and chips. Lord, grant me the wisdom to stay on the path of righteousness. And if I should stumble along the way, grant me the foresight to pick a good solicitor from the golden pages to sue the corporal. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
Right, Mervyn, we should be on our way. And those friggin' free staters driving this train to bother their hearts to get going.
Dr. Paisley! Dr. Paisley! Hey, Dr. Paisley!
Ah, fuck me, I don't believe it. It's Willie McCrae. Who the fuck told him I was going to Dublin?
Well, it wasn't me.
Oh, Dr. Paisley, thank the Lord I caught up with you. I thought I was going to miss the train. I took the wrong road coming out of Macrafelt this morning and ended up in Coleraine. Thought I was never going to get here in time. I was doing 60 all the way here.
Well, what the fuck is it, Willie? The train's about to go.
Well, I heard you were going to Dublin, and I was wondering if you could take my new LP along and see if any of the DJs on the radio stations would play a few songs on air. I've written some of them with the Free State in mind.
Well, Willie, if you think I'm going to fucking trips around Dublin with another load of your old gospel ramblings, you've another thing coming.
No, Dr. Paisley, they're not all gospel. Some of them are aimed for the teenage market. A bit of hip-hop and that.
Well, listen, Willie, hip-hop the fuck out of here before this train goes. I'll see what I can do, but I'm not promising you anything.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Paisley. God is good. God is good.
God's a friggin' piss-taker if you ask me. Just that's all I need. Honking Willie's songs around radio stations. Anyway, we're off at least. That's something. Here, Mervyn, give us some of those soda farms.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Mervyn.
What the fuck are you doing here, Jerry?
Well, Ian, I was going to ask you the same thing. You're not going to Dublin by any chance, are you?
Well, whatever I am, what's it got to do with you, beardy buck?
Well, there's a turn up for the books there, I'll tell you that. Actually, I was speaking to Mo, and she told me that you were going to Dublin to try and win the Nobel Peace Prize. Is that right?
Go and fuck yourself, Jerry.
No, seriously, Ian. I could give you a hand. In fact, we might be able to do a double act. If Human Trouble can win jointly, why can't you and I?
Oh, pull the other one, would you, Jerry? There's bells on it.
No. Sure. You know nothing about Dublin, other side. Tell me that. What do you know about it? I've been coming down here for years. In fact, I've got a house down there.
How the fuck did you afford that?
No, I bought it years ago, when you could pay off your mortgage with your dole money. I've got dual residency now. Come in handy for the old telecom shares.
So how many did you get, BLC Bub?
Oh, that would be telling. In fact, I did nicely, before they fell in price. Made a few bob. Means I can afford to eat in Bewley's now and again. Anyway, I'm going up there to have a word with Bertie. Have to sort out a few things, you know, me and Martin. Here he is now. Hi, Ian. Hey, Mervyn.
Fuck off, Garfunkel.
Well, Mervyn, that's a nice new car you have. 2 litre, nice alloys. How much did that run you?
Don't tell him, Mervyn. He's just trying to wind you up, so he is.
Look, you'll have to sell it, Mervyn, when you lose your job. I know a fella up in the Falls who could give you a good price for it, cash too. Unless you want to join the Guards, that is. I'll put a good word in for you if you want. Have you got a spare soda there, Ian? I love those steak sausages. You can hardly get them anywhere these days. See yous, lads. Here, Martin. I was still on for a pizza tonight. We can go back now, place in Temple Bar. Great pepperoni. Jesus, no, I can't have any pepperoni. Repeat on me something shocking. I'll be up all night with the baking soda. No, I'll just have the old tomato and the mozzarella. Hi, Martin. Have you any fertilizer? My dad's having awful trouble with his cabbages.
Marvin, take it easy, son. Or you'll be finding fertilizer in the boot of your fucking car. Right, Marvin, we're nearly in Dublin now. So make sure you don't leave anything behind you and let's get off this bloody train without those two Sinn Féin bollocks seeing us. I don't want them to know Bertie's meeting us. I hope he's laying on a feed for us because I'm fucking starving. Any more of those soda fires?
Sorry, Dr. Paisley. We've ate them all.
Oh, yes, what a journey. Well, thanks for meeting me off the train, Bertie.
Welcome to the South End, and we're delighted to...
Never mind that. Who the fuck's burning my churches? Tell me who's responsible for it.
Oh no, that's nothing to do with me. And I tell you what, I have my best man on the case, and that's P. Flynn, of course, who's just came back from Brussels. But here, Ian, I'm sorry, but I have to rush because I have a cabinet meeting, you know. And but here, do me a favour. I have a young lass who's looking for a fella, and I think their son Ian Jr. would fit the bill very nicely. And here's her number.
Oh, I don't know about that, Bertie. My son mixing good orange Protestant blood into the witch of a Republican. I don't know about that. But then I suppose, like I said earlier, there's no harm in stabbing the enemy with a sword. Yes, give me that number.
All right, so what I want you to do, Ian, is come out of the bar and take a turn to the right, down the ramp, and the taxi driver there will show you all around, and hopefully I'll see you later.
Right, that's all right, Bertie. Thanks again for meeting us, and I'll see you later on. Finia, Taxi, excuse me, sir. Is this taxi free or what?
It is, my good man. I wouldn't be on the rank if I wasn't free.
All right, don't be getting lippy, for goodness sake. Just give us a wee scoot in around the town. I want to see what changes there's been down here in the south. I'm sure there's been a brave few from the last time I was down here to rescue my friend, Peter the Punt Robinson. Oh, here, by the way, Mervyn, put those bags in the back. Not the wife, the bags. Fucking plank. Yes, let's go and have a wee scoot around the town.
Frieda, is there any chance of getting importing a Toyota Avensis? Is there any chance of getting a...
Well, look, hold on a second, Mervyn. The man hasn't even stepped off the fucking mark yet, and you're at him to get an imported car. Never mind him, friend. Let's get going. Let's take a wee tour.
Right. On the right-hand side here, we have the forecourts, where the famous Michael Collins fought the battle.
Who's that Collins one, Mervyn? Oh, I think he's the boxer. Steve Collins.
No, you fucking idiot. What's his name? Michael, is it?
That's the very man, Michael Collins.
Yes, Michael Collins, yes. Well, I don't know about him being that famous up in the north. He certainly is up in the south. But talking about the forecourts, with the amount of hoods as politicians that you have down there, you need more than 4 courts. You need 40 courts for Charlie Hawkey alone, the gun runner himself.
There's plenty of those down here.
Oh, yes, sir.
Brown envelope jobs for all the politicians down here.
Well, when we get brown envelopes up in the north and there's cables hanging from them, I normally get the wife to open the mail. I say, right, Eileen, you open that up there. No, we don't do that. No, I don't get stuff like that. Just make sure you take it easy, Fred. I'm very susceptible to being sick. Especially when I see Mo Mullum or Tony Blair on the screens. So where are we now?
We're coming down along the quays now.
Right.
Just on your right-hand side over there.
It's very nice.
You have City Hall on one side, and behind that again you have Dublin Castle. I'm sure you've heard of Dublin Castle.
Yes,
haven't you?
many a time I have spat at it, yes. I've been at Dublin Castle, yes. But it's equivalent to our Stormont. Only Stormont is more glorious, I have to say. And what about O'Connell Street, Fred?
Well, we'll be just coming down to that now. We'll take the right turn here. We'll be just at O'Connell Street.
Yes, is this where the ladies of the night hang out?
Oh, that's for sure.
I bet you there's more than that hanging out at about 12 o'clock at night.
Oh, without a doubt, my man. Without a
Yes,
doubt.
well, I think I'll be back down here myself to see if I can latch onto one islands in Belfast. So you might as well make hay while the sun shines.
Now, on the right-hand side here on O'Connell Street, we have the GPO, which is the General Post
Yes,
Office.
that's where Jerry Adams goes and gets his Jarrow cash, isn't that right?
That's correct.
Yes, and of course, Bertie Ahern, they're all at their work. And Charlie Hawking. Yes. And what about the nightlife? What's it like?
Oh, it's very, very good here. Exceptionally good nightlife. In around the Temple Bar area and that.
Oh, well, you know yourself that I wouldn't drink in any bars, Freddie. I'm a teetotaler, totally against all that devil's buttermilk. Now, Mervyn, he would have a drink.
Mervyn a good drinker, he is.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having the odd old pint of Guinness, Mr. Paisley. You know,
Well, certainly not in front of me. Of course, you get a slap in the fucking mouth. I'll not be tolerating any of that. You hope you don't touch that devil's buttermilk yourself, Fred.
Oh, no.
Are you saved?
No, it's teetotaler.
Fucking
Total
Pat Jennings
teetotaler.
couldn't save you, son, isn't that right?
That's correct.
Yes, or Packy Bonner, as they would say. And what about all this traffic that's down here in the south?
Ah, it's unbelievable.
Terrible the amount
Every
of cars.
day, 24 hours a day, non-stop, bumper to bumper.
And then you have these traffic wardens.
Oh, them sure the bastards.
Yes, they're clapping everybody.
That's for sure.
And I tell you what, all I have to say is to all of those traffic wardens, you're a sharp bastards. That's all I have to say to them.
I don't often agree with you, but I agree with you on that.
Well, I don't see why you would disagree with me, because obviously I'm a minister and I'm an honest man. I've been telling the truth for 40 years. Watch that fucking car, for God's sake, Fred. There you rode off. How long have you been driving?
Oh, 35 years.
Non-stop, the look of things, and you're running that fucking car there. But anyhow, it's not a very nice day, is it? The old grey skies of the Republic.
Ah, that's because you came down here. Normally sunshine because...
Oh, well, I don't think so. I think it's Bertie Ahern and all the rest on talking all the shite of the day. That's why you've got the grey mists of the Republic. And of course, I don't mind actually exchanging the blue skies of Ulster for the grey mists of the Republic. So what do you think yourself, getting political here? Do you think we're going to have this United Ireland?
Oh, I'd say eventually down the road it will come. There's no
Over
two
my
roads
dead
about it.
fucking body,
Ah,
Freddie.
sure, we all know that.
Certainly not what happened in my day, I'll tell you that.
That's why we'd have to get rid of you first before
Well,
we have a United Ireland.
you'll get a boot in the bollocks. You'll have a long wait. Another 30 or 40 years in this old dog yet. Yes. Should knock that man down. One less for mass.
Well, we're coming up now to Leinster House, where the Irish government sit.
Aye, that's all they do. They sit and they do fuck all. Scratching their arses. Another Podges de Rossa, Jerry Adams lookalike. The Dirty Bertie. Yes. And I have to also say, Freddie, the last time that I was down in the south, look at the cars they were driving then. They were all crockers, bones of scrap.
Ah, well, I could agree with you there, but we brought in this old fucking scrappage scheme. £2,000 on a car, and you can now get a new car with your trade-in of £2,000 scrappage deal.
Scrappage? Well, when we say scrappage back where I come from, it's normally four fellas knocking the fuck out of each other out of some pub. But, well, I see they've got decent cars on the road for a change. I'm glad to see that. Don't know about the drivers.
Oh,
cars are all right. But that's a terrible price to be charging per mile. Isn't it?
We'll be charging you double when you get out.
I don't think so, son. There'll be a parcel in the back of your fucking boot.
You're getting the sterling off you.
Well, let me tell you something. I would never burn holes in my pockets putting pumps inside them. There's always the good, loyal Ulster, Her Majesty, and whatever else on the back of my notes.
There's nothing wrong with you taking the punts out of your churches up around Monaghan and that.
Well, so let me tell you this here. Some bastard is having a concerted effort to burn my churches out. Somebody is setting a light to my Free Presbyterian church. And it's a disgrace. It's sacrilegious. It's blasphemous. Burning my churches. I hope you don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it, but what you're saying is wrong. You take the Irish pound from this side of the border and then you're complaining you wouldn't put it in your pocket.
Well,
you're putting it in the bank, aren't you?
No, I'm not worried about the Irish pound. I'm talking about my church. My church is more important than pounds, pumps, or anything else you want to talk about. I would like to know who's burning out my churches, trying to rid the Ulster Protestants out of the south.
Well, there's very few of them left here now.
Well, I know that.
We got rid of most of them anyway.
I'll tell you what, there's very few of them left in the north as well because of Adams and fucking Artie Funkle McGuinness trying to push us out. It's not going to work.
Why didn't you take a stand on the peace process?
As far as I'm concerned, I never got involved in the talks because they're a sellout to Ulster. You just don't understand that. Just don't care, that's what it is. Bloody arse and that. Lovely arse. Beautiful set of breasts.
Well, Dr. Page, I just want to ask you one thing. Prices of houses...
Just call me Ian, Fred.
Ian?
Yes.
Okay, my man. House prices in the north compared to the south, what do you think of those?
Well, I think the houses in the north are very good value. Better than the slums I've seen up here in the south. Some of the houses up in the north are around about £100,000. That's for the average house. I don't know what you're paying for your slums down here, but I'm sure it's nowhere near £100,000. What sort of money are you paying for that fucking motorbike? Reckless bastard. Fred, just pulling at those bookies here. I want to go in and do a bet, so I do.
Have you got a few winners today?
Oh, well, I've got a couple of tips. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a tenner on whatever Jim McDade's on, I'll tell you that.
Well, the only thing now about this little bookie here is a staunch Catholic. I didn't think you'd like to win there.
Well, nothing would give me more greater pleasure than to take the money of a good Fenian. I'll tell you better than that. When I'm in this bookmakers, I really am going to bet on there's not going to be a United Ireland.
You reckon?
Yes. Just pull in here, Fred. This'll do all right. Do you want a horse done or what?
Ah, here. Put a fiver on him.
Oh, yes. That's the bet's done now. Happy days. Going home a rich man, I hope. Tell you what, Fred, is there any more of these Kellymore restaurants about here?
Kellymore, ah, yeah.
Yes,
there's one just 10 yards up the road here.
Yes, sir.
Right to pull in and...
Yes, I think we're calling it something. Ain't that bastard Bertie wouldn't ask if you had a mouth on you. Oh, by the way, Fred, you don't have any Paris pubs down here?
Oh, indeed you have. Indeed you have. Plenty of them in there.
Oh, yes.
Just stop here now. Here's the Kellymore now.
Oh, that's lovely. Very nice indeed, yes. Well, normally down in the north, they normally get the taxi driver to open the door for the politician, but since we're down in a fucking alienated country, we might as well open the door ourselves. You can stop now, or do you want me to fucking jump out while we're still going, Fred?
There's a parachute in the back if you want.
Right. Swift kicking the balls you'll get. But anyway, what do you owe you anyway, son?
£8.
What about punts?
I'll give us sterling.
There, take it out of that. In fact, keep the change. All the best. Chucky hard laugh.
All the best, my man. Good luck.
Right, come on, Murphy. Get those fucking bags out. Busy bastard. Right, I'm doing it now, Doctor. Come on. Listen. All the best, Fred.
Good luck to you, my man.
Lovely peaches, nectarines, bananas, lovely tomatoes, 50 pence for
Excuse
£2.
me a second. Is this where you get the Toblerone?
No, mister, that's down the road. I'm just selling the fruit here. Do you want anything? We've lovely nectarines, oranges, bananas...
No, sir'll be fucking rotten by the time I get back to Belfast. No, I want some Toblerone for the wife. I'll eat the missus.
Your face looks awful familiar. I know you. Don't tell me. I know you. Jesus, I do. Of course, you're that old orange bastard Ian Paisley, aren't you?
Here, less of the oil if you don't mind.
Here, Dr. Paisley. You won't believe this, but my young fella was doing a project at school on the north and he picked you to do a study on.
Oh, that's very interesting. How did he get on with it?
Well, he never got finishing it because he's in Loughlin House at the moment. Him and some of his mates took a car belonging to a Fianna Fáil councillor.
Well, what did they charge him with? Misappropriation of a building contractor's property? Well, I bet that car had a bit of poke in it. Them boys wouldn't have had anything they bought with the scrappage. I hope that rat around a fucking lamppost.
Well, no, actually, they stalled the car at the lights of Fairview, and then the guards got them.
Anyway, where the fuck's that Toblerone?
Over here now, the lovely tomatoes, only 50 pence for £2. Lovely nectarines, oranges, bananas, pineapples.
Hi there, Ian. How are you getting on?
What the fuck are you doing down here, Jerry? Are you following me around?
For Christ's sake, Ian, now calm yourself down. Don't be so paranoid. I'm just going down to Dunn's and the Ellick Centre to get a few jumpers. You get a great range here, and that, of course, is a good rate against the punt.
Oh, yeah. The Armalite in one hand and Dunn's jumper in the other. Bit of a woolly revolutionary, aren't you, Jerry?
Hey, mister, don't I know you? And you, that fella, that sausage libelled and got all the money from the Sunday Indo and then bought himself a BMW. Crunchy is the rasa, yeah.
Hey, don't be getting me mixed up, that sticky bastard.
Right, calm down, Jerry. I won't get your jumpers.
Oh, here, lads, before you go, could you tell us something about the north that I'm dying to know? What's the state of the house prices up there? Because they're shocking down here. Do you know, I know a fella who went to the post office to cash his welfare, and by the time he got back, the house next door was worth an extra £1,000.
Well, I am not bothered about that, as I have my house paid for. And I've got good digs down in Dublin. A fella arranged them for me, told me they were the last word. Sounds a posh address as well. Here, hang on a second, let me see, so we can find where that address is. Oh yes, here it is. Fatima Mansions. What is that like? It sounds very posh.
Oh, Fatima Mansions, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That'll suit you down to the ground, Dr. Paisley,
lovely.
down to the ground.
Lovely. Oh, and by the way, is there a Kylemore around here? I'm that hungry I could eat the fucking poultice of a child's head.
Well, there is actually. You just walk to the end of the avenue here, turn left, straight across the traffic lights. You can't miss it, straight in the corner, full of windows.
All right.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. Hey, Margaret, pass up a few of them bananas here. Oh, that was. Did you see who that was I was talking to? I'm telling you, they all come down here. Tony, Gregory, a lot of them. Yeah. He's gorgeous, isn't he, Tony? I love when Tony comes down. But them two, I'm telling you, we're famous, Margaret, famous.
Oh yes, it's great to be back in the digs again, Mervyn. Tell you what, they're a bit small though. God sick you couldn't even get a hard on in here. Anyway, I think I'll give this boy a ring here.
Thank you for calling today, FM. I'm sorry there's nobody here to take your call. Leave a message. Thank you.
This is a message for Dumphy. Hey, sausage, you better give Willie McRae's new song a plug, or else you'll be in trouble the next time you come up the north. Not that we want to see you, mind you, but you better play it anyway, or we'll ask the Parades Commission to have a march down your street. So there you have it. Big Doc.
Well, this is a wee rap song for all you southerners down in dirty Dublin. I hope you like it. I hope you like that wee tune there in the background. Excited. When I get up in the morning, I thank the Lord and tell him how glad he made me a proud. I'm thinking that he didn't grow up in the south, for it wasn't for Brussels they'd be living hand to mouth. It's a rap. It's a rap. It's a rap. A willy rap.
1, 2, 3, 4.
For all the problems we have in the north, at least no one's asking what their house is worth. We don't pay the prices that you have done. They'll be looking at fortune to live in Ballymun. It's a rap. It's a rap. It's a rap. A willy rap. When I get up in the morning, it's good to see cables run the pension and we can get RTE. We don't have to sit through hours of river dance, and we don't have a home in the south of France. It's a rap. It's a rap. It's a rap. A willy rap. Of all the things I thank the Lord in my prayers, I don't qualify for telecom shares. It's a rap. It's a rap.
All right, well, yeah, so fucker, wrap it up. God's sake, that's a lot of shite. That's enough. Cut that cigar. All right, I just have one more phone call to make here. Yes, that number Birdie gave me.
Hello, you've reached the offices of the Progressive Democrats. Sorry we can't take your call right now. If you'd like to leave a message, we'll call you as soon as possible. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hello. This is a message for Mary Harney. Ian Paisley here. I was just wondering if by any chance you and my son Ian Jr. fancied meeting up for a bit of a chat to see how you might get on. He's knocking on a bit, as you know, and I would like to see him settle down with somebody who was familiar with the rough and tumble of political life. So I thought you might be interested. Obviously, the fact that you're a Fenian is a major problem, but I can see a way around that. You could undergo a conversion course to Free Presbyterianism and come here and live in the north. Things have settled down a lot, you know that, and you'd have absolutely no trouble buying your own house up here. And another good thing, you could join a party that already had some seats. It would be a good change for you. Anyway, let me know what you think and get back to me as soon as you possibly can. Thanks.
Oh, somebody at the door, Doctor.
Well, when fucking answer it, for goodness sake.
It's Cathal Daly.
All right, what the hell does he want here? Hello, Dr. Pacey. I knew you were down here, and I thought you wouldn't mind me coming in and speaking to you. What? What the hell did you know I was here? Well, someone told me in the corridors that you were here staying in this room, and I hope you don't mind me coming down and having a word with you. Well, what the fuck is it? What do you want? Well, I want to first and foremost start by telling you a little Bible story, Dr. Pacey. I hope you don't mind. All right, go ahead. Well, one day Jesus came across a crowd of women throwing stones. No, he wasn't in Ballymun. They were throwing stones at a young woman, so he went over to them, a bit like Jerry Adams calming down the rioters on Internment Anniversary Day, and asked them what were they up to. We're stoning this whore, Mary Magdalene, to death, the woman said. So Jesus says, fair enough, but let any one of you who is without sin cast the first stone. Immediately, this wee woman lugs over a big breeze block and says, this'll sort you out, you old bitch, and drops it on Mary Magdalene's head. So Jesus goes over to her and says, you know, mother, sometimes you really piss me off. I suppose the only people who were laughing then were the Catholics. I take it you prods don't know that Mary was born without an original sin. Well, you will soon learn when Martin McGuinness is Minister of Education. Well, I also have to say that one woman who is definitely a sinner is that Sinead O'Connor, or Mother Bernadette Mary. Well, there's something about Bernadette Mary that annoys my whole. It took me 7 years of study to become a priest, and she gives a bishop 100 grand and pays for his hernia operation, and gets ordained straight off. A hernia operation, I suppose that's a case of in God we trust. Anyway, before I became a qualified priest, I had to learn how to do weddings, funerals, and hear confessions. I was taught how to give 5 Hail Marys for a bit of thieving, 10 Our Fathers for masturbation, But one day I heard this boy confess an awful sin. So I asked the parish priest for advice. I said, Father, what do you give a young boy who sins with his mouth? And he replied, I don't know about you, but I usually give him £10 and a bag of raspberry ruffles. Oh, fuck, there's my phone, Dr. Piz. Oh, yes, so probably another fucking altar boy, is it? Oh, hold on a second. I think it just seems to have rung off here. But anyway, you know, Dr. Paisley, one of the first confessions ever I heard was in County Meath. This farmer comes into the confession and he told me that he liked to hump pigs. So I took a deep breath and asked him whether he humped male or female pigs. Female, he, of course, replied. What do you think I am, a fucking pervert? But anyway, I can tell you that, unlike Bishop Buckley, I have never officiated a mixed marriage. You know, one young Catholic man once told me that he was considering getting married to a Protestant. So I told him that I was worried that if he did so, he would suffer terrible repercussions. What do you mean, Father, he says. Are you worried that my family will be intimidated by the paramilitaries? Or will we be targeted? I says, no, son. I told him that bastard Graham Reid might write a play about you. Speaking of weddings, did you see the royal wedding in June? I was a bit worried that Prince Edward's ring was a bit loose. Reminded me of my favourite altar boy. All right, come on, that's disgusting. There's no need for that. You know, Dr. Paisley, I have to also say that I was at a wedding recently and the bride was showing me her wedding presents. Unfortunately, the hinge on her microwave door had come loose. So I said, don't worry, I can give you a screw for that microwave. But she replied, no thanks, Father. But I'll give you one of those toasters for a blowjob. Of course, nowadays people will believe any scandal about the Catholic Church. Years ago, it was different. My aunt told me that she used to live opposite a whorehouse. One night she had her best friend around for tea. As they were drinking their cup of Lipton's finest, my aunt looked out the window and saw a Presbyterian minister going into the whorehouse. Her friend says, look at that dirty old Presbyterian, a filthy old her chaser. 10 minutes later, a Church of Ireland bishop arrives. My aunt's mate looks and says, look at him. Even the proddy bishops are at it as well. 10 minutes later, the parish priest arrives at the door of the brothel. Holy Mary, Mother of God, says my aunt. There must be someone sick in there. But before I go, Dr. Pease, I also have to say that I am delighted that you have come down to Dublin and that you're trying to readdress yourself and you're trying to be friendly with the neighbours. These are neighbours, of course, in the south, and we want you to reach the... All right, for fuck's sake, I get that message, all right. Thanks anyway, Catherine, for coming in and put us to fucking sleep. Right, there's your Vaseline, away you go, beat it. Oh, yes, thank goodness I got a seat. All right, Merv, I think it's about time I got a drink, and away and get us a drink of whatever the Pope drinks.
I take it that's a bit of orange then, Ian?
None of your nonsense or I'll slap your face. Just get me whatever the Pope drinks and get it down here immediately. I'm fucking down of thirst.
There you are, Ian.
What the fuck is that?
That's green chartreuse.
Green what? I'm not drinking that fucking pippy shite. What is that? Hold on, I have a sip of this, actually. It might be all right. Oh, yes. Very nice indeed. I like that. That is a liqueur, I believe it. I know what sort of liqueur I would like. But I better not say that. What the fuck do you want? You bastard. Get away from my table. Well, that's all right. Thank you. Oh, yes. I don't know about you, Marvin, but I'll tell you something. That liqueur was as strong as Jerry Adams' breath. How the fuck your man of holiness, the Pope, can drink gallons of that and still get out of his bed in the morning is beyond me. It must be the fucking altar boy. He must be great. But anyway, as I was going to say to you, Mervyn, I think it's time that I made up with my Catholic friends in the good old Republic because I love the Republic. I love the people of the South. Chucky our land, up the ra, all the shite. You know, Mervyn, I've been very hard on the people in the Republic, but they're my fucking friends. I love my friends in the South. But you know something? I feel like getting up and doing a wee stage act. I hope you're ready for this, Mervyn.
I don't think I am, Dr. Paisley. I think it's going to be...
Well, fucking it's too bad. You're going to have to listen to it, and that's it. Give me that right there. I don't know why you're all roaring and shouting. I've come down here to share in your culture. Christ knows why. All I've seen is a bunch of friggin' ignoramuses whose cultural pursuits seem to mean a trip between the pub and the bookies. What happened to this island of saints and scholars? You just can't even pass Irish in schools these days, for goodness sake. A far cry from the days of Connolly and Pearce. In fact, I was reading the proclamation last night, and I thought it was time to update it for this present generation. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and the dead generations, from which she receives her old tradition of backhanders and begrudgery, Ireland through us summons her children to the flag and strikes for 2% above the new partnership agreement. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary army of Fianna Fáil spin doctors, and through her open construction and building organisation, Backdoor Developments, having patiently perfected her discipline of sending a few quid to the headquarters and keeping the rest for the constituency, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal details of offshore accounts to the flood inquiry, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her children in the Bar Library and by gallant allies down the country, but relying in the first on her own cuteness, she strikes in full confidence of a Labour court hearing. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland, and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies to be sovereign gold coins stored in the Isle of Man. The long usurpation of that right by a succession of tribunals has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished except by the destruction of incriminating evidence. In every generation, cute whores have asserted their right to a few backhanders. 6 times in the past 300 years, EEC grants have been paid for the same set-aside land. Standing on that fundamental right of Brussels money, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as up for auction, with the guide price of 15,000 big ones for every deal, and we pledge our bank accounts and the lives of our spin doctors to the cause. Fianna Fáil is entitled to and hereby claims the first preference vote of every Irishman and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, with the exception of the travellers and them feckin' Romanians on O'Connell Street Bridge, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation in the back corridors of Brussels, and cherishing all the children, particularly of priests and bishops, but excluding those from halting sites and industrial schools. Until our Isle of Man deposits have been brought to the opportune moment for the establishment of a new retail development park in Glen O'Dowds, the Fianna Fáil Progressive Democrat Coalition will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people, and especially anyone with a holiday home in the south of France. We place the cause of the coalition government under the protection of Jackie Healy-Rae, whose blessings we invoke upon our schemes, and pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, or inward investment in Fine Gael strongholds. And by the way, we're happy to announce the creation of 2,000 jobs in Kerry. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves to the common good, find the money they borrowed to pay for their telecom shares. Well, folks, I would also like to pay a tribute to a friend of mine from the rough and tough old days of politics, a man whom a lot of people have recently taken to revile, but he is a man who I have reviled well before that. He is, of course, my old sparring partner, Charlie Hockey. People say Charlie took money from Ben Dunn. Well, he's a lucky man he took the cash instead of having him build you an extension like Laurie did. Now, he has a 30-foot refrigerator in his kitchen, a sign for the club cards in the garden. Oh yes, Ben, there, done that, got the t-shirt. £1.99. Anyway, here's a wee song for you, Charlie, just to cheer you up. All right, what do you like on them keyboards there, lad? Get him behind them Humphries and let's have a tune. Oh yes, the Black Velvet Band, especially for Charlie. The singing's crap, but let me tell you something, so's the preaching. In my neat little home called Gracey, sure's many a time I had fun. There was always a welcome for visitors, especially if they were called done. But a sad misfortune came over me, which caused Harry to dig the dirt. 'Cause I shafted my friends and companions for the sake of a nice handmade shirt. Her eyes, they shone like a viper's, her neck it was made out of brass, and after her lit appearance, they all think Charlie's an ass. As I was curled up in me armchair, sipping me heart from a can, and the big fella, he walked in and slipped a check into me hand. Her eyes, they shone like a viper's, her neck, it was made out of brass, and after her lit appearance, they all think Charlie's an ass. Before the judge and the jury, someday I will have to appear, because of my offshore accounts and the dodgy expenses each year. Her eyes, they shone like a viper's, her neck it was made out of brass, and after her lit appearance, they all think Charlie's an ass. Well, Charlie, that's a special little song for you. And don't worry about it if you get a couple of years on Mountjoy. You'll be out in no time at all under the Good Friday Agreement. I hope you enjoyed it, son. Chucky, Arla. Eileen! Jesus Christ, Eileen! Oh, I've had a nightmare, Jesus, or was I dreaming? Eileen, I was dreaming I was down in the south, Jesus Christ. Come on in, Mervyn. Just I thought I was having a nightmare there. Well, Mervyn, is there any messages?
Well, Dr. Paisley, there's a couple of messages from your constituency office. Oh, and by the way, there's a message from someone by the name of Mary Harney.
Holy shite.